Moral for Lecture 4: Negotiation Tactics Strategies for Successful Bargaining. How getting what you want too quickly in negotiation can lead to disaster. A great opening offer should never be accepted because unless your opponent is a terrible negotiator, the opening offer will not be as good as the best offer. As a negotiator, you should always try to see if you can get an even better deal. 2. Most negotiators feel better if they have to fight a little to get what they want. Giving them room to haggle means you allow them to argue over price or over variables before you reach an agreement. The winner curse describes how a negotiator feels when the opponent gives in too easy and lets them win. They keep wondering if they could have done even better. Buyer's remorse is how a buyer feels when they begin to doubt if the deal they got is as good as it seems. It is to be avoided because they may change their mind at the last minute. Many contracts this day include a cooling off period, during which time the buyer can still cancel the deal and get the money back. Top 10 list of hardball tactics in negotiation to watch out for. 1. Extreme demands followed up by small, slow concessions. Don't let a strong demand anchor your expectation. Be clear going in about your own demands, alternatives, and the bottom line, and don't be rattled by an aggressive opponent. Commitment tactics. Your opponent may say that his hands are tied or that he has only limited discretion in negotiating. Make sure that these commitment tactics are real. Take it or leave it offers. Offers are never negotiable. Try ignoring the demand and focus on the content of the offer instead. 4. Inviting unreciprocated offer. When you make an offer, wait for a counter-offer before reducing your demands. Don't bid against yourself. 5. Trying to make you flinch. Your opponent keeps making demands, waiting for you to reach your breaking points. Don't fall for it. Extreme demands and few concessions is indicative of a hard, distributive negotiations mindset. This strategy sees negotiation as a win-lose scenario, and while effective is climbing value, it is rarely conducive to building a relationship with your counterpart. An integrative negotiation strategy looks at negotiations as a potential win-win scenario in which each side gets to share some parts of the value on the table. Further, this mindset sees relationship and building relationship with your counterparts as integral to process. Integrative negotiators will employ negotiation tactics aimed at creating value and bridging the gap between the parties. Commitment tactics and take it or leave it offers are part of distributive negotiation strategy and are meant to limit buyers' counterparts' options as well as knowledge about the other side's true interests. 6. Personal insults and further ruffling. This personal attack can feed on your insecurities and make you vulnerable. Take a break if you feel yourself getting frustrated or name their tactics. Bluffing and puffing and lying. Exaggerating as misrepresenting facts can throw you off guard. Be polite but skeptical. Threats and warnings. How to deal with threats. Recognize threats and oblique warnings as the tactics they can help you stand up to them. Billeting. Billeting your alternatives. BATNA. Best alternative to negotiating agreement. You increase your power by improving your BATNA. You should thoroughly reach what your best options are, and you will be less dependent upon reaching a deal. Have a firm sense of your best alternative to negotiate an agreement, and don't let your opponent shake your resolve. BATNA, it is what you are going to do if you do not reach an agreement. It is your source of power, because the better you BATNA, the more you can demand from the other party in the negotiation. When your BATNA is poor, you become highly motivated to create value. 10. Good cop, bad cop. One of your opponents is reasonable, the other is tough. Realize where they are working together. Realize that they are working together and get your own bad cop if you need one. At the same time, while you could leverage these hardball negotiation tactics yourself, remember that making the other side hostile could create long-term problems. Knowing about these tactics and the motivations that underlie them, a negotiator can efficiently maneuver herself at the bargaining table while diffusing hard bargaining negotiation strategies without harming the relationship of the negotiation. 11. What is the worst thing you can do in a negotiator? Among all the answers like insult him, get her annoyed, go over her head to the boss, make him look stupid, the worst thing you can do, accept his first offer. Most good negotiators usually never accept the first offer and do not ever bluff. They never pull full price and only talk about the price they have in their head. Lastly, they typically do not negotiate in response to an unscheduled meeting or phone calls, but set up a meeting for the first date in order to allow time for preparation. What are the worst negotiating mistakes? Reaching on acting without thinking. When angry, you will make the best speech you will ever regret. It is always much easier to react rather than rein in our emotions when faced with a difficulty from the other side of the negotiation. Being too angry is perhaps the most common mistake made and often lessens the time necessary for the deal to be made. There are plenty of negotiations I have been involved with where anger only served to bring the entire situation to an impasse. Effective negotiation requires the ability to step back, or as I like to call it, going to the balcony. Going to the balcony means keeping your eyes on the big pictures and seeing what is truly important to you. Distance helps in keeping one's emotions in check and their true goals in sight, not separating the peoples from the problem. Another mistake in negotiating is thinking that being soft to those on the other side means being soft on the problem. The opposite, being hard on the peoples as well as the problem, is also a mistake. There are not solving people. As human beings always have emotions that will tire them up. We're solving the issue at hand. The trick is to be soft of the person, hard on the problem. That is what successful negotiation do. This more certainly is one of the most difficult challenges in any negotiation. Not having a BATNA. A classic mistake is forgetting to ask yourself, how would you satisfy your interest if unable to reach a negotiating agreement? This is your BATNA, your best alternative to negotiating agreement. Again, it helps to ground you with confidence that you will be able to find a way to your interest in some way. It also helps with giving your baseline for accessing possible agreement. The stronger your BATNA, the greater your negotiating power is. Compromising too soon rather than making compromises too soon. It is better to explore the interest and the standards of fairness each side of the negotiation has. Once one does so throughout the first half of the negotiation, gaining a better understanding of the individual perspectives and needs of each party involved, it would be more wise when to begin offering compromises. Thank you for your attention.